Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'll be telling you guys about the top 10 most underrated fruits in Blox fruits. And just as a heads up, tons of people underestimate these fruits, so please after watching this video, make sure to give them a try. I seriously don't want to see Little Bob commenting L list underneath this video. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Okay, so starting off at number 10, we have the dark fruit. Back in the day, the dark fruit was one of the best fruits in Blox fruits, but nowadays everybody has forgotten about this fruit. Well, not everybody, but only a few people use this fruit nowadays. First of all, I would like to say that this fruit has very good stun abilities. For example, if you like to stun your opponent and do some amazing combos, the dark fruit can be your best friend. But keep in mind, this fruit is actually pretty difficult to use, and especially since everybody has Race Awakening now, it's even harder. So that's why I had to put this at number 10 on my list. But yeah, this is actually one of the most underrated fruits in the game at the moment. Okay, swiftly moving on into number 9, we have the Phoenix fruit. Whoever is using the Phoenix fruit can heal themselves. This fruit is actually very different from all the other fruits in the game. Mostly the strongest fruits in Blox fruits deal a lot of damage or do insanely good combos, but the Phoenix fruit is good in healing yourself. So yeah, it has a different purpose, but it is actually pretty strong in fighting other people. But yeah, anyways, it is definitely an underrated fruit. Moving on into the next fruit, we have the spider fruit. I think the OG Blox fruit players would definitely agree on spider being in this list. Back in the day, spider had very high damage and almost everybody was scared of fighting a spider/string user. But obviously, if I am placing the spider fruit at number 8, it should have some weaknesses. Basically, the spider fruit is not for everybody. It is actually pretty difficult to use and also requires you to have very good aim. Nearly all the moves are based on aim, and if you guys miss one of them, your whole combo can be ruined and you can end up losing a lot of your bounty. So yeah, the spider fruit is not for beginners at all. Before moving on into number 7, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. Alright, at number 7 we have the flame fruit. Well, the flame fruit is not really underrated, but a lot of people underestimate this fruit, and yet it is one of the strongest fruits in the game. Well, to make it very simple and clear, if you guys are a noob or a beginner and you are looking for a fruit to PvP with, flame is one of the best options for you, because this fruit has very low cooldowns, which means you can spam its moves very frequently. Secondly, this fruit does not require you to do any combos if you want to win a match. You can just simply spam your abilities and win easy fights. And lastly, the flame fruit is very cheap, so even if you are a day 1 Blox fruits player, you can afford this fruit. So yeah, with that being said, I think let's move on into number 6. At number 6, we have the shadow fruit. The shadow fruit is known for its hard combos, that's why a lot of people avoid using this fruit. But keep in mind guys, the shadow fruit has very high damage, meaning if you are good at using this fruit, you can basically one-tap your opponents with ease. But only if you are good with this fruit, which requires a lot of skill and someone like me is definitely not capable of. Anyways, for all the bounty hunters and the people who like to PvP in Blox fruits, make sure to give the shadow fruit a try. It's definitely one of the strongest fruits in the game. And just like that, we are already up to the top 5 fruits. At number 5, we have the control fruit, and oh my days, I don't even want to talk about this fruit. Basically, if somebody knows how to use this fruit, you will literally want to quit Blox fruits. Like, trust me, this fruit is that annoying. But thankfully, there is one thing holding this fruit back, and that is skill. Usually a lot of control players are not very good. They just watch a video on YouTube and think they are the best player on Blox fruits, but in fact, using control is a lot more difficult than they think. But some people are just demons at using this fruit. Make sure to let me know in the comments below if you are a control demon. Anyways, enough about the control fruit, let's move on into the number 4th fruit. Here we have the quake fruit. Yes, quake is definitely one of the most underrated fruits in the entire game. This fruit can be used very efficiently and can be pretty sick in combos. But there are quite a few weaknesses to this fruit which led me to put this at number 4. First of all, this fruit is very predictable. If somebody knows how to PvP or fight, they will definitely know what move you are about to pull off and they can easily counter you. Secondly, to do some insane combos with the quake fruit, you need to do tons and tons of practice. But once you get used to it, the quake fruit is very fun. So yeah, definitely I have to place this at number 4 on my list. And now we are finally onto the top 3 most underrated fruits in Blox fruits. Starting off at number 3, we have the light fruit. Yes, light is actually pretty underrated, and to be honest, nowadays it's getting a little bit of acknowledgement and people are starting to use it for PvP, but yeah, it is still pretty underrated. Well, first of all, I would like to mention that light fruit is not easy to use. By all means, this fruit is not for beginners and not even for the average fighter. The light fruit requires you to have a pretty good aim, like you need to have top tier aim if you want to use this fruit. You also need to have low ping and you also need to be pretty fast if you want to be good with the light fruits. And of course, if you want to be good with anything in life, you definitely need to practice with the light fruit. But yes, at the end of the day, if you guys learn how to use the light fruit properly, you can easily get up to 20 to 30 million bounty in a couple of weeks. So yeah, with that being said, let's move on into number 2. At number 2, we have the sand fruit. This fruit is actually slept on, like actually slept on. The sand fruit has very good combos. Basically, it's the mixture of the dark fruit plus the ice fruit which makes the moveset of the sand fruit. And to be honest, learning the sand fruit is very easy. I would say an average player can become a pretty good fighter with the sand fruit. It has insane combos and can be very powerful if you guys are using swords as your main source of damage, and especially the swords which are fast. For example, like the Tushita or the Dark Blade. These two swords go very well with the sand fruits. So yes, I think sand fruit has to be one of the most underrated fruits in the game, since I've only seen a couple of people using this fruit to PvP. They usually think that it's like a mediocre fruit for fighting, but actually little do they know that it is pretty strong. Okay, so here we are at the most underrated fruit in Blox fruits. We have the sound fruit. Yes, sound is actually a recently added fruit into Blox fruits, and a lot of people sleep on this fruit, including me as well. When it got released, I tested it out and I was like, yeah, it's good and all, but it's not really that special, right? But now whenever a sound user pulls up to fight me, I seriously get destroyed because it's very confusing to understand. And secondly, it is very unpredictable. So even if you are a good fighter or you can do very good counters, a person who knows how to use the sound fruit will be very unpredictable, and it will be pretty difficult for you to fight him. And lastly, one major part about this fruit, that it actually does a lot of damage. Basically, when somebody is fighting you with the sound fruit, the moves don't seem that they do a lot of damage. But little do you know that once you get into the combo, you are nearly dead. And this has happened to me more than I can count. So I would like to say that the sound fruit is definitely one of the most underrated fruits in the game, and it is definitely a fun fruit to use as well. But the video doesn't end here. I had 3 fruits which I wanted to add into this list, but I didn't. So so we will just call them honorable mentions. Number 3, we have the pain fruit. The pain fruit is actually pretty good, but it is only for skilled players. Number 2, we have the chop fruit. The chop fruit is immune to sword users, which can be used as a very strong fruit against the right opponent. And the last honorable mention we have is the Buddha fruit, also known as the M1 spamming fruit. Okay, so that basically wraps up the video. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button because a lot of you guys just watch my videos and you are not subscribed. Okay, so with that being said, hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.